what is that over there? It kind of looks like the movie I watched, the staff I watched, the movie I watched a couple of days ago had the staff in it. What should I do with it? I have an idea. Shazam!
Wait. What's going on? Craziness. Did the staff do that? Oh my. I guess I'm SHA-MEGS now. SHA-MEGS. Well, I guess now I can beat Marvel and all those crazy Disney antics, right? Screw Disney! Haha! And what they've been doing to all of our favorite characters. And what they might do to our characters coming up. Who knows? Who knows about the future, too? Huh, Pluto? Anyways, Shazam. Welcome back, guys, to the MEGS show, or the SHA-MEGS show for this edition. Today we're going to review Shazam, which I happen to thoroughly enjoy. So Shazam, it was cute. It was laughable. Of course, I had a couple small little gripes, as I usually do, but overall, I enjoyed the movie. It was cute. One disclaimer I need to put: I never followed the comic, so I'm not trying to say that I was ever like a super supporter of the comic. So I'm never claiming that in any way or form. Okie dokie. So yeah, Shazam was a DC movie. So in my liked, I have kid friendly. I actually watched it twice. I watched it once with my husband, and then I watched it again with the kids the next morning. So I liked it good enough to watch it twice, right after each other, and I laughed out loud both times. So no complaints there. Good job. Loved the fight scenes. I loved the creepiness of the sins. I really enjoyed the darkness of the special effects and the time. You could clearly see that went into the creations of not only the statues, but bringing them to life. The sculptures were amazing, and to have the bouncing back from the sins to the comedic performances, because there'd be times where, in like the fight scenes in particular, where they'd be all fighting, and then they'd crack a joke and it would work. It would be funny, and it would just be like, seriously. Where in a lot of movies they try to do that and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. And it was actually funny. It worked, and a lot of the times it doesn't work. So their level of using comedy and darkness and the amount that they used and the scale that they tipped, I thought it worked very well. And especially in a DC movie, with how dark DC usually goes, with the touch of comedy, and with how they had the kids and then the foster family and all of that, it was really nice to see. Okay, so I guess I'll get into my gripes here. So those were my dislikes. Those were my likes that I had on the movie. So my dislikes here, I'd only got a couple. Dr. Savano. I thought Dr. Savano was a little bit of a little bit of a mediocre villain. I mean, I thought he did some pretty cool twists and turns through the air and some somersaults, and I thought he was doing a lot of those cool little things, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And, you know, I thought he had a cool backstory with him with his magic 8-ball and his dad that was really into power, and he was really rich, and then he couldn't walk because he got in a car accident because he went psycho in the car. You know, and then he gets crazy. He gets crazy because he wants power, and he puts a power ball in his eyeball, and then he wants to hurt a bunch of little kids ultimately because he's got the 7 deadly sins, you know, and I just think he's kind of a mediocre kind of villain. And he was creepy because he had all those creepy sins that were beautifully made creepily and beautifully, you know, artistically made. But the villain himself, individually, the man himself, other than his gymnastic skills, maybe like a C? I mean, he could shave his head really nice. I don't know if that's because he had to. I don't know. He's a good actor. He's a great actor. He's a great actor. He just, I don't know if I don't know. I just thought he could have been a better villain. I don't know. Maybe because they had the comedy aspect of it drowned out the villain. That could have been the comedic aspect of it could have washed that out. That's very likely. I'll give that. Another gripe I had. So when he goes into when they're interviewing all these people, right, and their experiences with Shazam Senior, right? Okay. And the flashing of the symbols 7 times, and 7 times, and he goes back into his little office, and the woman doctor follows him, and he's in there, and he writes the symbols on the door, and she pats it on there. Okay, what is the likelihood that he just happens to have another person in there that happens to touch the door, and it just happens to kill this other person, and it just happens to need this other person in there to do that, to sacrifice that person, to open that portal, to get to this place that he needs to do, that he's been searching for his entire life? What are the odds? But and from the looks of it, he's never let another soul into this place the entire time he's worked in this facility. Like, it looks like his own personal, you know, secret garden or some bullshit. You know, like, it looks like he's never let, you know, not even his mother or housekeeping in this place. You know, whatever. But yeah, and then he lets Dr. So-and-so in here, and she comes in here and taps on a door and then burns to a crisp. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to stick a Powerball in my eye and go try to kill a bunch of little kids. Yeah. It starred Zachary Levi as Shazam. It had Asher Angel as Billy Batson. Mark Strong as the villain, Dr. Savano. Dijman Hansu as Shazam Senior. So yeah, so that's the thing. It stars a little, you know, a boy, Billy Batson. He's a poor kid that his mom abandons him ultimately, which is found out later. And he's searching for his mom, bouncing around from foster houses, and ends up being in this really cool foster house where he ends up finding a really cool group of kids, and he ends up stumbling upon Shazam Senior, who gives him some powers. And you know, he's what is a 14-year-old kid with powers gonna do? You're gonna go get on your phone and you're gonna go try to do them and get money for it and test them and see what you can do and be a kid and have fun with it, and you have no responsibilities. You don't know what the world's like. You don't know. You have no idea. Whatever. Who cares, right? So that's what he does, and then all of a sudden this crazy Dr. Savano comes around because he's crazy and puts power balls in his eye, right? So he does that, and yeah, and he comes and he's like, hey, I want all the power. I want all the Shazam power. So he comes and does that, and he's like, I'm gonna come take you and all the Shazam power, and he's like, hey, I'm just a kid. I just want to live, and I just leave me alone, man. And he's like, no, I want it. I'm gonna take your family, and if you don't give me the power, and he's like, what? Yeah. And so poor Billy, you know, he figures out that he just has to take this cool little staff here, and all his family members just latch onto it, say the magic words Shazam, and they all get this cool magic power, and they turn into SHA-MEGS, or that's my version of it, SHA-MEGS. But yeah, they turn into cool magic Shazams, and so his family members turn into the cool magic Shazams, and they end up beating Dr. Savano. Oh, that's where I left out. So actually, that's a big part I left out. I'm sorry. It's kind of late at night. My bad. Long day. Graminator's been graminating, to say the least. So she, so anyways, so the whole point of Shazam is Shazam Senior has been protecting all of the lands from these 7 deadly sins. You know the 7 deadly sins, of course, right? I have this right. Okay. The 7 deadly sins, right? So, you know, if I can remember, there's greed, and there's wrath, jealousy, gluttony, lust. I think envy is jealousy. Envy is jealousy. Anyways, besides the point. I'll list it down in the details. I'll look it up and I'll list it down in the details for you guys. I'm not gonna. We'll be here all night if I try to remember. Anyways, but that is one thing that they did so awesome. They created statues, and then they also made these sins come to life. They were so awesome. They were so creepy. They floated, and then they came into creatures, and then they were statues, but they were just so awesome and creepy and awesome. They were pretty cool. They were everything a DC, you know, a DC movie usually is. So that was pretty awesome. I was pretty impressed by that bit. Yes, so anyways, so they Shazam the family. They beat Dr. Savano and the 7 deadly sins, because all the 7 deadly sins come into this little ball here, and that's how Shazam keeps them all together. And he keeps them all together in this little ball, and then they stay in their statues in his little lair, and that's where they all stay. Yeah. And so, but yeah, so Billy turns all his family into there, and then they're fighting Dr. Savano, who is the sins, because he has this guy in his eyeball. Billy and the family beat him, of course, because that's what happens. And, the end, right? And it's just a good movie. You should watch it. I liked it. The kids liked it. The husband liked it. And I'd say it was probably a B overall. I wouldn't say it was the greatest movie in the world. I wouldn't say it was a bad movie. It's a B. Alright, guys. So that was Shazam. And how about you guys leave me a comment and let me know what you think about this video. And let me know what you think about Shazam, if you've seen it, if you like it, if you love it, if you don't love it, if you love this video that I made here, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up, give it a like. If you liked it, don't give it a like if you didn't like it, I guess. If you're not already subscribed to me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified whenever I upload new things, don't forget to hit that notification bell. And like my other puppet brother always says, don't forget to tuck and roll. Alright, guys. Alright, guys, don't forget to have a good night or day or whatever it is, wherever you are. I'll see you later. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.